Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a warm welcome to all of you gathered here today. It gives me a great pleasure to announce today's symposium. I am Leila Moslemi, a PhD candidate and a coordinator for this symposium. I am delighted that the group of graduate art students have been given the opportunity to host today's event. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Elahé Omidyar Mir-Djalali, the supporter of the Elahé Omidyar Mir-Djalali Institute of Iranian Studies, and the sponsor of this program. Additionally, I am thankful to our mentor, Professor Mohammad Tawakkoli Targhi, whose initial guidance has shaped the creation of this graduate student symposium. I would also like to thank Bilal Hashmi, our administrative coordinator, for planning the event. Before we begin, it is important to acknowledge the land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississauga of the Credit. Today, this meeting place continues to be the home of many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful for the opportunity to work on this land. To begin the program, I will now hand it over to the symposium moderator, my colleague, Negar Bani Safar. Negar Jan, please.
Thank you so much, Leila Jan. I'm really glad to be moderating this student-led graduate symposium. And I'm also a PhD student at U of T. And I think without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our first speaker, Nasim Jan. Nasim Salehi is an Iranian-Canadian emerging artist based in Toronto. She earned both her Bachelor of Fine Arts and her interdisciplinary Masters in Art, Media, and Design from OCAD University. Nasim specializes in mixed media, performance, and video art, and uses these mediums to explore themes such as identity, war, immigration, and embodiment. Her work bridges divides, fostering empathy and inviting viewers on a shared journey of self-discovery. Through her art, she captures the experience of those living with chronic illness, demonstrating that art surpasses boundaries and connects us on a profound human level. Nasim Jan, please go ahead and share your screen with us. We're all ears.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Nasim. For 18 years, I've denied my multiple sclerosis, moving from one shadow to another, always trying to find light to keep my hope alive. But sometimes it's not a disease itself that's the hardest part. It's the fear of living with an incurable illness, the MRI anxiety, the fear of an untreatable condition, and the weekly injections, often way heavier than the illness itself. Yet, through it all, I keep searching for the part that leads upward. In my research, in my recent work, I explored significant healthcare issues shaped by my journey with MS and the challenges faced by other patients during MRI scan. My goal is to deepen awareness of the distress and anxiety in MRI scans, emphasizing the need for compassionate, patient-centered reform. In my work, I focus to four main issues: appointment time, difficulty to reschedule, and long waiting lists. And another thing that is a claustrophobia. The MRI's metallic frame, near to life size, shaped like cage and combined with Various sounds symbolize the mind's confinement in this strange journey through the MRI. Memories, sometimes pleasant, sometimes unsettling, you beyond it's beyond the control, and like revealing the story hidden beneath the skin. You find no escape from the sounds and shadows it casts over your mind. Brain MRI scan, brain MRI images are displayed in one section, exposing a harsh and undeniable reality. Opposite, opposite the them, photos of life's memories, some filled with pain, others overflowing with joy, are set in contrast. In this midst of it all, a person is trapped in a metal chamber, caught between the weight of bitter days and the fragile effort to keep hope alive, struggling to find a way out. This narrative blends medical imaging with personal experiences, highlighting an emotional and physical journey through light and shadow. I decided to read one of my real MRI story where you will hear about the challenges faced by patients like me throughout the story and see them in the short video in the end. I haven't had anything but water since this morning. I need to be ready for an MRI at midnight. My stomach hurt a lot, but it's better than feeling nauseous inside the MRI machine. I'm lying on the couch while my mom knits a scarf. For months, she said she'll come with me to the MRI, but I kept refusing. I scrolled throughout photos of friends in Iran for the January holidays. I stared at their pictures, feeling sad for being away. No answer come to me, just the feeling that nothing is worth staying away from my loved ones for so long. I started getting dressed more quickly. A strong set of footsteps approached me. My mom held her phone screens in front of my eyes. What does this say, Nasim? I'm speechless. My vision blurs. A Ukrainian plane crashed in Iran's sky. Mom cannot hold back her tears. I say, let me sit down and see where we can find reliable news and the names of the passengers. Her cries echoes in my ears, and she said, does it even matter who the passengers were? I feel suffocated. I'm definitely going to be late. It's an hour drive to the hospital. Why do I have to make this hours long trip at this time of night in this state only to drive back home in even worse shape? Mom forgot to mention she would come with me. The rapid taping uh, of her fingers on her phone frustrated me even more. I said goodbye to her quietly. She simply said, take care of yourself. They asked if I could have canceled the appointment. I respond, oh, it's never happened. I won't get my medication until the next one. An unusual chill seizes my body. Behind the wheel, I glance the news coverage of Iran. The car's speed feels out of my control. Sometimes I feel like I'm flying, other times like a turtle stuck in the mud. I can't seem to find the hospital's main entrance. Every door I come across is locked at this late time. Where is the cursed door? I have no clue how to get in. I'm 10 minutes late. I checked the latest news on the plane crash. All the passengers were burned, 176 people in about 18 seconds, 20 seconds. Does it even matter? There is all gone. As I change my clothes, it feels like the fire from the crashed plane envelopes me. The nurse called my name. I hesitate for a few seconds before entering. Now I must enter this metal cage, another layer of hell. Outwardly, everything seems normal, except the nurse says the MRI will take about an hour. I lie down. It fastens the guard onto my head. The iron bed slowly enters the tunnel. I hear extra strange noises. My mind fills with the screams of helpless passengers trapped not in the MRI cylinder, but in my high in the sky, who turned to ash in the blink of an eye. Their dreams shatters in the darkness of the night. My entire body feels hot and as if the MRI itself is plummeting at high speed. Who to? Where to? And I have no idea. I don't know why my mind focused on a tragedy, why it refusing to believe it was just a technical issue, but what other rational explanation could be there. It feels as if the plane is crashing right here in the MRI. I'm holding my son's hand. We grabs the seats. I clutch my heart, my mouth sealed in terror. My eyes capture the fear in the children's face. Can those 20 seconds even be put in the words? The thought of my son's burning throws me against the MRI wall. I scream for help. No one hears me. Again, I scream, silence. A third time, no response, just like the passengers whose cries even God didn't hear. A hand shakes me. Are you okay? Were you sleeping? I feel like my ashes are spread on the bed. The nurse calmly says, it's good that you rested. I tell her a plane crashed tonight and 176 people burned in the less than 20 seconds. In this metal cage, I imagine gathering the ashes of my loved one. Her eyes widen in shock. She says, are you joking? Tears won't stop. She said, I wish you could change the MRI appointment. I said, I wish. You know, I said, I wish. I step outside in the cold air and frozen rain, hitting my face at 150. I start the car. Picture of the passengers, their smiling faces fill social media pages. Mom called me. Where are you? It's at 3 a.m. What a night it was tonight, Mom. I'm coming, but I'm stuck frozen in a 20-second. It took for 176 innocent passengers to be deliberately killed. Please just advise the harsh MRI noises comes with the sound of the plane crash might be disturbing you. And please, if you are not in the good situation, please lower the volume.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. خدا خود کمک کن. هواپیما آتیش گرفته.
Thank you so much for your time and attention.
Thank you very much, Nasim John, for sharing your effective and affective artwork with us. So we will leave the questions for when all the speakers are done with their presentations. So I will introduce the second speaker for today. Mahnaz Nezarati is an Iranian-Canadian multidisciplinary artist whose work explores the sociological and psychological dynamics of women in patriarchal Middle Eastern societies, especially Iran. She holds a Bachelor of Applied Arts and Master of Applied Arts in Traditional Arts and Handicrafts from Tehran Arts University and the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Drawing and Painting from OCAD University. Nezarati's practice encompasses drawing, painting, and experimental animation, exploring themes of identity, belonging, and gender dynamics. Her work often depicts everyday rituals among women, challenging cultural norms, and fostering dialogue about the complexities of women's lives within the Iranian diaspora and beyond. Mahnaz Jan, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Negarjan. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I wanted to express my gratitude to all the organizer of the event. And I apologize in advance for my rusty voice. I'm just overcoming a sickness. And forgive me if I do a little coughing in the middle. I'm so excited to join the meeting today. And I would love to introduce one of my favorite projects that I've been working on for the last few years with you. And with no further delay, I'm going to share my screen with you. Sorry, we were just checking the slides before and I forgot to bring it back to the first slide. Okay, so I would like to introduce my project and series that I've been working on for the last few years, and it's ongoing, named Zanane, or Women's. The term woman refers to anything that relates to women, including their roles, experiences, rights, and traits. In both society and psychology, it holds rich, layered meanings that have been shaped by history, culture, and personal experiences over time. Women's series brings together drawing, painting, animation, and installation to explore the complex dynamics between women. It's all about those internal relationships we have with each other, the connection, the competition, and how societal and cultural expectations shape the way we relate to one another. Women's series takes a closer look at how Iranian women interact in their everyday lives, exploring how social, cultural, and psychological factors shape their relationships. And I wanted to create a space to reflect on these layers and bring out what's often left unspoken in our interactions. And I chose 4 pieces to introduce to you today as we're going forward. The first piece I would like to introduce to you is Woman's Tea, which is a triptych, and each panel is about 4 by 6 feet, and it's been done by pastel and charcoal on paper. Women's Tea explores the relationship between women through the familiar tradition of sharing tea, which is central to our Iranian culture. The panels pictures intimate, informal gathering where we naturally open up and become vulnerable. However, even in those closed bonding moments, there is always underlying possibility of judgment and gossip. That's what my work, aims to capture, how something as simple as sharing tea can reveal much deeper social and cultural dynamics. And this piece is very personal for me, and it kind of reflects my own mixed emotion during such gatherings. And In Iran, our relationships as women are shaped, as I mentioned before, is shaped by cultural, religious, political, and historical forces. The way we connect is influenced by shared experiences and the unity we build, as well as the challenges we face together in a patriarchal society. But beyond these external forces, the instinctive way we as human beings connect with one another as women, it cannot be ignored. It plays a key role in how we relate to each other and support each other and build friendship. But in the same time, we cannot ignore the fact that very often these same so-called friendships drives us to isolation, doubt, and fear. I would like to focus on subtle dynamics during these casual gatherings, like sharing tea, to show how these moments reveal the deeper forces that impact how women connect, communicate, and sometimes compete with each other. The second piece I would like to introduce is titled Tea Talks and Chess Walks. This piece is a mixed media installation, and where I used chess, teacups, and cowhide rug to explore complex dynamics between women and power. I actually created this chess table, chess bench, and players back in 2011 as my final project for my first bachelor's degree in traditional handicrafts of Iran, where I was specialized in woodworking. I designed and carved the pieces using walnuts and red dates wood. The chessboard and the players here became the main elements of this installation, since there is a strong parallel between women's relationship and the game of chess. Each element is a metaphor, and the chessboard represents more than just a game. It's a space where two women navigate power, identity, and choices. The moves they make reflects a deeper conversation about a strategy and control in life. The chess pieces themselves are storytellers. Sometimes we are just players being moved by someone else's strategy, and other times we are the ones orchestrating the game. The teacups add another layer, symbolizing shared experiences and connections. Sharing tea becomes a metaphor for a refuge women find in each other's within societal pressures. And cowhide rug beneath the table is not just a luxurious item, it's symbolize sacrifice, death, and power dynamics within domestic spaces. With this piece, I want viewers to reflect on the psychological dimensions of choices and power in relationships. It's a space to think about how something as simple as chess moves or a shared cup of tea can reflect deeper narratives about power, comfort, and sacrifice within the context of feminism. The third piece is an oil painting on canvas titled Beyond Blame, an offering of liberation, in which I look at Eve's role in the fall from grace, which has been interpreted in the patriarchal societies like Iran to have a negative stereotypes about women. These narratives often portrays women as a cause of temptation and sin, reinforcing the idea that they need to be controlled to protect men's morality. It's being used as a tool to limit women's freedom, suppress their voices, and keep them out of many areas of life, whether it's work, politics, or even just being visible in the public spaces. By casting women as inherently manipulative or dangerous, these interpretations have drove gender inequality and justified controlling women's behavior. As Iranian women, we often hear this phrase, "It's been because of you that my husband, my son, My man has gone astray. Your appearance, your laugh, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you sit caused them to fall from grace. And these accusations often come from another woman. But it raises an important question. Can you clap with one hand? This is one clear portrayal of internalized misogyny. Reflects patriarchal ideas that holds women accountable for men's behavior. And the last piece I would love to share with you is a short experimental animation, Harf Noosh, where I use traditional paint on glass technique combined with frame-by-frame animation in Photoshop to create a dreamy, layered visual piece. The animation, same as the other pieces in the women's series, blends symbols of femininity like teacups, textile patterns, and female figures with both realistic and abstract painting style. The name Harf Noosh comes from two Persian words, harf meaning words, speech, and noosh meaning to drink. It's about how during these tea conversations we take in each other's words, whether good or bad, just like we sip the tea. Each word leaves an impact, settling in our hearts through the simple ritual. I drew inspiration from Rumi's word, which says, the speaker of the word, the listener of the word, and the words themselves, all three becomes a spirit in the end. Harf guyo harf nusho harf ha har se jan darand and dar intaha. It shows how something as ordinary as sharing tea becomes meaningful exchange that resonates long after. With that, I will invite you to watch the animation, which is only a few seconds, 30 seconds. And by that, I would like to finish my presentation for today. Thank you for your patience, and again, many thanks to all the organizers of the event. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mahnaz Jan. Very beautiful artwork portraying female coalitions. We can talk about that later. Our next speaker is Laleh Sarami. Laleh is an Iranian artist currently living and creating in Toronto. Her immigration to Canada provided her with the opportunity to fully immerse herself in art. She began her journey in the fine art program at Centennial College, later graduated from OCAD University, and is now continuing her academic studies in the MFA program at York University. Laleh's life has been associated with war, social upheaval, and protests. She uses her work to speak out against injustice and oppression. Her work spans a variety of mediums, drawing upon ancient Iranian symbolism and cultural elements to create a contemporary visual narrative, mainly focusing on sociopolitical events, particularly the water crisis in Iran. Laleh Jan, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Nagar. I'm going to share my presentation. I would like to start my presentation with land acknowledgement, which is part of my um, statement too. I acknowledge the land that I live, create, and prey upon. Toronto, the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississauga of Credit, the Anishinaabeg, and Chippewa, and Haudenosaunee, and the Wenda people. I also acknowledge the land where my performance took place, Wasaga Beach, the traditional land of the Anishinaabe, and enduring presence of the First Nation people of Métis and Inuit people. As we move forward, we journey in the spirit of reconciliation and respect. I extend my gratitude and respect to the indigenous people who have living on this land for countless generations, carry the wisdom and teaching of those who have walked on this land before us. I pray to the water that flow through this land, honor the spirits that reside here. May this water carry my prayers to my ancestral land and bringing the rain and abundance to the dry out land. In recent years, the focus on my practice was on water crisis in Iran. And I start this journey by the water crisis in Zayanderud. And to give a background about this, here is the map of Iran, and you can see the Zayanderud here. It started from Kuhrang, which located in Charmahal and Bakhtiyari province in Iran, and ends to the Gafkuni wetlands. This is the recent picture of the Zayanderud within the Isfahan city. You can see the historic bridge of the Haju at the background, and as you can see, the rivers turn to the desert. And also here are the two pictures of Gafkuni wetland as it was at its glory and how flourished the region was. It was the home for millions of migrant birds. And now the wetlands look like this. In recent years, several protests and demonstrations shaped against the water shortages that mainly caused by misplanning and wrong water policies that Iran's government took. And for instance, in 2021, the farmers, they took tents and camped in the riverbed and asked for their right of water, which they didn't receive at that time for last 2 years. And the important thing is that the farmers not only asking for their share of water, but they also demanding the government to honor and respect the share of water that should go to the nature and most importantly to the Gafkuni wetland. And the things that I want to mention here is that the share of water throughout the Zayanderud River maintained by traditional treaties, some of them as old as 500 years. And through these years, these treaties maintain the rights for every living thing across this river. And now Islamic Republic won't respect these treaties. I also have a family tie to this river. My ancestors were the Mirabs of Zayanderud. Mirab in English translated to the guardian of the water or wise man of the water. And my great grandfather tragically died, killed actually, through the argument between the farmers and local ruler on that time that demanding the farmers to give up their share. And he, as a mirab and the person who was responsible for sharing the water and keep the shares, he didn't accept that and they killed him. This for this performance, I quilted the Zayende Root outline on a shroud. Using shroud here or cotton fabric here is in solidarity with the protesters in Iran that were wearing shroud and going to protest. And also, I wanted to symbolize that without water, there is no life. I took this piece, went to Wasaga Beach and did a performance and offered my prayer to this water, hoping that the water takes my prayer back to Iran. My prayers comes from Abaniash, the chapter in Avesta, which is dedicated to the goddess of water, Anahita, and I'm gonna play.
و در آفرینش دویم بود و آناهیت ایزد بانوی نگاه بانش آن توانای درخشان بلند بالای خوشندامی که شب و روز به نیرومندی روان است و به فراوانی همه آبهایی که بر روی زمین روانند. او دارنده 1000 دریاچه و 1000 رود است. هر یک از این دریاچه ها و هر یک از این رودها به درازای 40 روز راه مرد چابک سوار تندتاز است. اهور مزدا برای او 4 اسب از باد و باران و ابر و تگرگ فراهم ساخت. از این 4 اسب پیوسته باران و برف و ژاله و تگرگ به مانند 900,000 تیر فرو ریزد و بخشیده شود. بر زاینده رودم ببخشای از باران و برف و ژاله و تگرگ، رودی که زندگی بود و زندگی میداد. بر زاینده رودم ببخشای از باران و برف و ژاله و تگرگ، بر زاینده رودم که به نیرومندی روان بود و به فراوانی همه آبهایی که بر روی زمین روانند. بر زاینده رودم ببخشای از باران و برف و ژاله و تگرگ، بر زنده رودم که پدرانم با خون پاسدارش بودند. بر زاینده رودم ببخشای از باران و برف و ژاله و تگرگ، زاینده رودم که خشک شد و پرندگان مهاجری که نیامدند و 4 پایانی که رفتند و مردمانی که بستر خشک زنده رودشان آخرین جان پناهشان شد. بر زاینده رودم ببخشای از باران و برف و ژاله و تگرگ، بر زنده رودی که زندگی بود و زندگی میداد. بر زاینده رودم ببخشای از باران و برف و ژاله و تگرگ، بر ما ببخشای. و در
Sorry. Here is a translation of my prayers, and here is the link to the Abaniash chapter of the Avesta. I decided to not include my prayer, the translation in the video, but here is for your reference. Not long after 2021, people in city of Isfahan start noticing the crack on the buildings, and mostly it was visible on the walls of the mosques. And Isfahan as a center of art and historic sites in Iran, which is, we are so proud of the mosques that we have. So the news just concerned all the people that what is happening, what we see, these cracks on the buildings, which are basically our heritage and our city ID. The reports after that showed that the cracks are resulting as the decrease in underground water resources, and also because the Zion River, there is no water there. It's just agitating the problem. And now there are massive voids underground, and they are appearing as a crack on the surface. In response to that event, I took the floral patterns on the mosque's tiles, and I draw them on the outline on the river, again on the cotton fabric. I took it to the shore of Ontario Lake, and this time I went at sunrise. I waited for the sun to rise, and as the first rays of the dawn illuminated the skies, I start praying for the safety of the land and for the safety of the people with this work. And the last part of my work, the important thing is that the water crisis and shortage of waters is not, the consequence of it is not just limited to the people or the animals of or the land. There are some consequences that goes beyond our imaginations. For instance, now in Isfahan and Iran, the region, they are acres of wetlands that they dried now. They are acres of farms that, because there is no water, farmers can't harvest anything there. And basically they turn into the desert, and any wind in the region can start massive sandstorms. These sandstorms sometimes going through the whole region and continue for a couple of days. When I was making this piece in response to sandstorm, and again, because through all my works, I'm attempting to pray for the land, I came to the conclusion that I'm not able to portray the event as it is, because the disaster is so massive, and I wasn't mentally and emotionally able to create an accurate narrative of what is happening there. So I, again, dedicated most part of my work to water and engraved the zigzag symbol that you can see here. In ancient Iran, this symbol representing rain, actually heavy rain, which I'm praying for, and just cover the work partially with this fabric that I put in clay and representing the sand. And here are some details of my work. In my works, I keep praying for the land. My praying is not toward any deity. I'm praying towards the water. I'm praying towards the land and sun, basically natural elements, and asking for rain and abundance and safety for my people and for my land. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Laleh. Your work sort of touched upon multiple facets, and I particularly like the hydrocolonialism. So we'll talk about that. Our next speaker is Firouzeh Saremi. Firouzeh is a fourth-year student at OCAD University, majoring in sculpture with a minor in painting. Her artistic practice explores the intersections between human experience and environmental urgency. Drawing from the bold vibrancy of Fauvism, the emotional intensity of Expressionism, and the boundless possibilities of abstract art, Firouzeh addresses issues such as climate change and human matters. Her work invites audiences into a dialogue that extends beyond the visual, fostering a connection with pressing global challenges. Firouzeh has participated in solo and group exhibitions, as well as art fairs, including the Artist Project. Recently, she received the Best Student Award, the Mary Collins Memorial Award, and the Artscape Award at the 62nd Toronto Outdoor Art Festival. Currently, she's developing 2 distinct sculpture collections and 2 painting sculpture hybrids, all of which explore themes of resilience and transformation, echoing the regenerative process of nature and the human spirit. Please, Firouzeh Jan, we're all ears.
Hi, hey everyone. Thanks for joining me and my friends today. So let me first share my screen and hide myself. My name is Firouzeh and I am so excited to share with you my painting and sculpture installation collection titled Dream of a Burned Forest. I created this body of work as a testament to the power of hope. This collection is deeply inspired by nature and focuses on themes of resilience, hope, and transformation. The title itself, Dream of a Burned Forest, represents not just the destruction, but the possibility of renewal. Much like a forest that can flourish again after being burned, so can the human spirit with a spark of hope. This collection consists of 24 works, including paintings, 3D paintings, and installations. I've had the honor of showcasing these pieces in 3 art fairs as well as solo and group exhibitions. So the audiences could engage with my interpretation of nature and human resilience. My collection is meant to reflect the struggles and journeys of people, particularly who are forced to leave their homes in search of a better future. I draw a parallel between the natural challenges of a forest and the personal challenges immigrants faced in unfamiliar environments. Both have to adapt, find new ways to survive, and hopefully thrive. The abstract landscapes in my work represent these struggles. For instance, the hard edges in my paintings symbolize the personal twists and challenges individuals encounter, while the orange spots in these works metaphorically represent rivers that find their way amidst difficulties, embodying the resilience and determination of the human spirit. I aim to create visual representations that connect the human experience with the regenerative power of nature, showing that with time and care, even the most damaged environments or lives can thrive again. From a personal perspective, I believe that space is a raw and undefined environment that gains meaning when it becomes a place shaped by experiences, memories, and emotions. A place for me is a sanctuary where personal and collective stories unfold, where the invisible layers of time and events settle into a narrative that defines its essence. Space remains abstract, open to possibility, but a place is lived in, marked by the presence of people, their interactions, and the imprint they leave behind. It is the transformation of space into place that allows us to connect with our surroundings, to find meaning in the mundane, and to build a sense of belonging. Whether it is a quiet corner in a bustling city or a remote natural landscape, a place carries the weight of our stories, binding us to it emotionally and spiritually. This perception aligns closely with this collection, where natural landscapes transform into significant places through the experiences of migration and the journey towards hope and renewal. My work draws parallel between the resilience of nature and that of immigrants who face the challenge of turning unfamiliar spaces into meaningful places. The orange spots in my paintings, as I mentioned, represent hope and resilience, much like rivers carving new paths through a landscape, navigating obstacles. Just as nature adapts and rebuilds, so do individuals finding meaning in unfamiliar spaces and turning them into places of strength. So my goal with Dream of a Barren Forest is to ignite a sense of empathy and understanding among viewers, especially toward immigrants and people who face immense personal challenges. I want to convey that even life seems destructive, there is always a possibility for renewal. People who are forced to leave their homelands, much like the burned forests, have the strength to rebuild, find hope, and flourish again. So at the end, I want to mention that in my perception, by fostering compassion and embracing narratives of migration and renewal, we can create a more inclusive and harmonious world. So I'm done. And also, I wanted to share with you that in my next show, in January, I will be showcasing this body of work at a proper gallery, and I would be happy if you could join me, and I will share more information on my Instagram soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Firouzeh Jan.
Please.
Showcasing aesthetics of hope, I guess. So thank you, everyone. I would like to invite the audience, if they have questions to ask our amazing artists, you can write your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand and ask your question. Terme John, thank you. So Terme, thanks Firouzeh for her visually creative work of art. We are also so pleased to have Dr. Elahé Omidyar Mir-Djalali with us here. We are so honored to have Dr. Mir-Djalali with us. And I can see Dr. Moshiri and Dr. Farouqi. Thank you for being with us. And Dr. Moumeni.
I just wanted to say thank you so much, Dr. Elahé Omidyar Mir-Djalali, for accepting our invitation. And your presence will greatly enhance the event. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So Leila Jan, I think we can probably end the meeting if there are not any questions.
Yeah, if you don't have any question, it's just that so amazing to see you all here, and all the presentation are fantastic and very, very unique in terms of definitions, and I hope to see you all for the next symposium that we have. I'm not too sure, but the advertisement will come out hopefully. And thank you so much for coming and paying attention to the presentations. Negar Jan.
Thank you very much, Leila Jan. I really, I was really amazed by all the presenters. And honestly, what I see here is like the collaboration of art and theory together, whatever we read in our books about art and theories of art and humanism, let's say, how it can get connected to art, was really vivid in your works. And I was really fascinated by that. Very inspiring.
It is definitely, and when it comes to the art, I guess the theory and the philosophical, way of thinking is just merged to the image, and it kind of like connects human being to the like beyond abstract.
Sort of a non-liberal way of humanism that is showcased and performed through art. Very beautiful.
Exactly.
Very beautiful.
Exactly. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, and see you all again for the next presentation. And have a good day.
Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.